Hey everyone, welcome back to the Teacher Studio. I'm Karina, and in today's video we're going to be talking about ways in which you can give your students extra speaking practice outside of the classroom. So extra speaking practice, if you're a teacher, this can be a challenge, something quite difficult to find outside of the classroom, but it's so vital to the confidence and the fluency of our students. So that's why today I'm going to be giving you 8 strategies that you can share with your students with a little help, hand-holding, right, to get them speaking more outside of the classroom. So grab your pen, your notebook, and let's get to class. So strategy number 1, we start with the most simple. So this is for them to join an English conversation group. So in order to find these English conversation groups, they will have to do a little bit of work, and it also depends on their location, country-wise, and city within that country. So the best places to find this are platforms like Meetup, Facebook, Reddit, I would even suggest. It all depends on the city where they're located, which platform has the most opportunity. They can even find these conversation groups at libraries, bookshops, even English-specific little hangout areas, universities as well. You can find these conversation groups, even at some businesses. This is a great way for students to interact with people who might not be native English, but they speak English at different levels and with different accents. Because let's face it, English is an international language, so they're not just learning English to speak with natives, but really to speak with anyone who speaks English. So this is a great opportunity for that, and for them to get out of their comfort zone and realize that a lot of people are also in the same situation as them, trying to learn a new language. They are not alone. There's no reason to fear or to be afraid of speaking. Strategy number 2 is something that I find quite interesting for my students and for me to hear their feedback at the end of this activity. So this is what I call mystery calls. So it's a mystery, or the mystery comes in where they receive a call from another student at a random time. So they do not know the time when they would receive this call. It can be any time or any day during the week, and the call should last for about 5 to 10 minutes. So it's not too overwhelming for either student. So as a teacher, you can pair your students up based on level variation or other criteria that you think are interesting based on how well you know your students. So you have free range with this to pair up your students, or it can be completely randomized where you're not doing it based on levels or any criteria, or you can have the students choose their partners. So this all depends on your teaching style and how you would like to do this activity. This activity helps students to think on their feet, and it really mimics real life situations where they would have to give a response on the go, and they would not have time to really process and think about a long, detailed, perfect, grammatically correct response. So thinking on their feet is key, is a skill that you're developing here. So this helps to improve their working English capacities. The better they can explain themselves in these 5 to 10 minute calls, the more working English they have. And as a result, they would feel more confident and realize that they know a lot more English than they imagined or they assumed, right? I would also suggest that you provide the topics of conversation for this, just so that it doesn't become too difficult. In fact, let me retract that. It depends on the level of your students. So if you're working with advanced students, I would say you can give them maybe 2 or 3 conversation starters or questions, but leave it up to them where they would take this conversation. For the other levels, for the lower levels, definitely provide a conversation sheet with different questions that they can ask. So these would be questions where you can have a short conversation, like I said, for 5 to 10 minutes. So some simple questions you can ask, just to give you a few examples. What was the best part of your day? Have you tried any new hobbies? Yeah, what was something you learned today? How was work? Yeah, did you do any cooking? So all of these are simple questions, easy enough that they can answer them on their feet and feel confident as well. Another strategy that my students really enjoy is a daily video or audio recording. This depends on the student, of course, and their level of comfort with this type of activity. Most of them choose to just record an audio because in reality, that's what we're really checking, not their voice, but their speech. All right, so to do this, I've provided my students with a variety of prompts that they can talk about or record themselves talking about, and they simply use their phone recording application, record their voice speaking about the topic that I've provided, and they upload or they send it to me. Simple as that. You can do this in other ways where maybe it's a journal, an audio journal. So every day your student does a 1 to 2 minute audio journal, and they can upload this to a platform that you can decide, or maybe to a Google Drive folder, or they can send it to you via email. And of course, the idea is for you to listen to it and give them some feedback during the next lesson, or if you respond directly to their email, this can be a great way for feedback. This has been really helpful for my students because they get the chance to listen to themselves. Once they've recorded themselves speaking, of course, you can't help it. As humans, we listen to ourselves again to see what we sound like. So a lot of them, they listen to themselves again and they realize some of their errors, and they can redo the recording, or they recognize, oh, I've said this in a wrong way, or I've pronounced this word a bit strange. Oh my gosh, I've left out the S at the end of this word, or my grammar isn't so good here. So they can really self-evaluate, and this is great because it means they can then, when they are speaking naturally to someone, they can hear their own mistakes a bit better and correct them as well. So it works really well. This is an activity that a lot of students always say, thank you so much for giving me this activity. I really enjoy it. And also I can help myself. I can see my improvements after weeks of doing it. So before we move on to my next strategy, I want to hear from you. Share with me in the comments the strategies that you use to give your students some extra speaking practice outside of the classroom. So this next strategy, I reserve this one for my advanced learners. I call it podcasting. So we know podcasting right now, it's all the rave, all the trend. Everyone and their mom has a podcast. So it goes without saying that this one works well with my students, especially university level students, and it gives them an opportunity to, live a little bit in the limelight. So how this works is you can provide the topics, or this could be an extra activity where the students come up with the topics themselves. Maybe in the last few minutes of a class session or so, you can do this as a nice warm down or warm up, depends, it's your classroom. So how it works, you have the topics, and the goal is for the students to do this outside of the classroom. So they have to manage their time, and they must interview or speak with, have a dialogue, have a debate with another student on the topic in English, and of course, record it. So again, some students might prefer just an audio recording, that's fine for me. Or some might want to go all out and have a video recording, even have an actual setup, right, of a podcast. It depends on how dedicated or excited your students are about this. So because this one takes a little bit longer in terms of prep time, this would be something I give to be done, let's say for 2 weeks, right? So every 2 weeks or even every month, they have this big task of filming a podcast episode. And because it's sort of episodes, they can be consecutively related to each other in terms of the topic, or again, there's lots of space for creativity here. They can be completely different topics each episode. This one, I think your students might like it. This is a really fun one. So this would not be an appropriate video without including some AI strategies, right? So this one is my digital pen pal strategy. And for this one, you can use, well, like I said, AI to help your students. So it means platforms like ChatGPT or Replica and also Elsa Speak. So these three platforms are the ones that I would recommend because I have some experience with them, so I know what they can do and what they cannot do. So as we all know, ChatGPT is an AI chatbot that can talk about just about anything. So students have free range with this one to practice using a method they're most comfortable with. So typing, texting like SMS style, and also voice. So you can speak directly into ChatGPT and receive a response. So this is something that I think is most accessible to most, at least to most students. So this one I would suggest. The next platform is Replica. In fact, I think platform might be a very loose term. So this is a real intelligence, artificial intelligence that is designed to act like a friend. So within its software, it remembers what you talk about and the information you share with it, and it will be able to respond to you like a friend does in a casual manner. So you can really assume this person is your English friend, and you start sharing and giving your life, and you can change from topic to topic to topic, and Replica will remember that information and really mimic, right, the type of friend you desire or you want it to be. The only thing with Replica is that it's only a chatbot, so it will not correct your grammar or your pronunciation or give you vocabulary. So in fact, yes, you would learn some vocabulary because as it responds to you, there might be some new words that your students would not know. I'm saying you, but I really mean to say your students would not know. So it helps in that way. But like I said, it does not correct your grammar or pronunciation. So it would be really just for practice, for getting the words out, getting that out. But for improving or fine-tuning your students speaking, it would not cater to this. So maybe Replica would be better for upper intermediate to advanced students, right? For your lower level students, my next AI would be helpful. So this next AI is Elsa Speak. So Elsa Speak, it's not so much a conversation partner as it is a teacher, because it will focus, or it does focus, on pronunciation and fluency of your speaking. So this will correct your pronunciation, it will correct some minor grammar points. So this is great for lower level learners who want or who need that immediate feedback to avoid learning the wrong pronunciation or learning the wrong syntax or form or construction, things like that. So Elsa Speak is perfect for this type of students. A0, so very beginner, all the way up to, I would say, intermediate level. So my next strategy is something a little out of the ordinary, and maybe it's appropriate for kids, but I think it can work for all levels, again, depending on your student. So this is online escape rooms and role-playing games, or RPG games for those of you who know the lingo. This activity is great because it's in a very casual atmosphere and students are forced to interact in the moment right now about a specific given topic or activity, in this case the escape room or the specific role-play game that they are involved in. And they would be interacting with different people from around the world, most likely in English, provided they find the right game, or you would suggest the right game to them for them to kind of have a focus on English. The idea is that they must both think and respond quickly and on the spot in English. So again, I said it could be great for kids, but I know that there are some adult learners who would really enjoy this activity. So it depends on your students, right? here is a list of some RPG games and a quick explanation of them out. Let's take a look at the list this way. Alright, so here's a quick look at my list of escape room and RPG games. So really simple list, and I have the level as well, the learner level that it would be appropriate for, and an overall score, some of the pros and cons of each of these games. So this is the list, and we're going to actually take a quick look at 3 of these escape room RPG games just to have a glimpse of their platform and the website. So let's take it right now to Breakout Edu. So this is Breakout EDU, and this is great for in classroom. As you can see in their little video, that it is great for in classroom and for younger kids. So I know for a lot of you teach English in a classroom setting and with kids, so this can be really useful for you to take a look at or to try with them. So they're completely different levels, and of course, pricing is involved. You have 14 days free trial, and individual classroom prices or departments, schools, districts, etc. You can see here what you can get with that. But I've tried this for the 14 days, and it was nice for younger kids. Like I said, it's really interactive, really interesting. It keeps them locked in and it works. So this is a nice platform. Let's take a look at another platform, Murder Mystery 2 or Roblox. And this is what it looks like on the page, the first main page. So you have a little description of the game and the age that it's appropriate for, so 13 years and up. So this game would really work well for intermediate learners and up and higher as well. And you can go ahead and click the green button as long as you're registered or you're logged in, and the game starts. So it's pretty simple. You can see from the images, simple images, but the idea of this game is English. Everything in it is sort of related to English. The next game is Spyfall. So this one is very mysterious. As you can see here, it is a RPG game as well. You add your games, right? You add your how many players, 1 or 2. All right, and so my page here is in French, even though English is selected. Not sure why. Let's see if I change. Okay, so now it's in English. Now you can understand what's happening. So you add your players, and then you select the type of or how you like your gameplay to be displayed, right? And you simply join the room, or you create a room if you would like to have a specific gameplay with specific amount of people. So that's it. So let's go back to our list just to kind of wrap up the discussion. So these games are generally safe for most users. That's why they're on this list. However, I'm sure you would have found some others yourself, or maybe you have suggestions from your students as well. If you do, let me know in the comments. I'm always looking to add new content, new material, new resources to my list and share with you guys. So let's head back to the video. And the final strategy, it's not something that you've never tried or suggested before, but it's more of a reminder. Your students can join virtual meetups, language exchange meetups, or specifically English meetups, and they can find these meetups on platforms like Meetup. Eventbrite as well has quite a lot of activities like this here in France. Both Meetup and Eventbrite work really well in France or Europe in general. So this can be a great source to find these activities. They're often free as well, or they have a very low cost. So there we have it. Those are my strategies, So there we have it. Those MI strategies for giving your students some extra speaking practice outside of the classroom in ways that are engaging, interactive, and making use of today's current technology. So if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Subscribe, like it, share it, leave a comment. Let the world know that you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in my next video. Ciao!